guys, welcome to Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I'm Pannon.
I'm V-Fire.
And I have my friends back with me. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Both of my friends are on my microphones.
Oh my
This is so great.
I promise there wasn't like crazy infighting or anything. We've just had like crappy health and all kinds of stuff pop up, so
Bad timing.
It was really funny. Like, it made me think I was a guest on a Disney podcast, like, back during the pandemic. And they just kind of, like, stopped. And they announced, like, hey, we have to stop this. And I reached out. It's like, hey, everything okay? Like, yeah, we hate each other now. I was like, what? Nah, it's okay. We just got too busy. And I was like, no.
Whoa.
Next April Fool's Day, we
Oh,
can
yeah.
do the drama episode. Here's the tea on V-Fire.
Oh,
Pannon is too tall.
Yeah, us short people are like, oh my gosh, Pannon.
Pannon.
My
Pannon.
Anywho, how's the drama at home, y'all? How's the good, the bad, the ugly? Tell us about it. There's a bunch of different ways you can do that. First is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
you can go to the website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out our forms there, or
go to the Facebook page. While you're on the Facebook page, tell us what your Work in Progress Wednesday is looking like, or the drama behind your work in progress. We would love to hear that as well. Joanne's is going out of business, so you had to like storm the gates for that last inch and a half of fabric that you needed. I'd love to hear it. Or you can also tell us on our Discord server. We love to see people there. We're constantly gathering horror stories. We've got a whole channel just dedicated to your reference photos, which I'll be uploading a few of my own here in a little bit. And while you're on the internet, if you want to help out the show, there are many different ways to do that. Share the podcast with a friend, leave a rating and review wherever your podcast app lets you. And of course, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplay stitch. For $3 a month, you get a shout out on the show every single episode. And for $5 a month, you can join our
Cosplay Chronicles.
Nice.
Still very quiet from last recording with Pannon when she had a migraine. We have a really great, silly cosplay-themed D&D game, so please go check that out, and we would love to have you there. And it just kind of genuinely helps pay for the bills, because podcasting isn't free. And you know, if I know, and you know, if we ever make enough money, we'll just quit our full-time jobs and do this full-time. I would happily do this full-time. I don't know about you guys, but I would happily do this full-time.
Man,
nice.
And I have all these new fan theories about where the thing is going, because I've been watching Mobile Suit Gundam, and we have a character who is using the pseudonym of one of the Mobile Suit Gundam characters. And now that I know the character, I'm like, oh no, where's this going? Ooh.
All right, I got so excited. Just Gundam, Char. I love Char.
Yes.
Char's so great. The red comet.
I mean, the character could just think Char is pretty cool, and I agree, so.
There's also, and this is totally like a tangent, like Char is kind of like a really great character that one can definitely like, oh, that's such a cool character. But at the same time, think about the number of people that you've met in cosplay and you just know them as that cosplay that they did.
Yeah.
I think V-Fire has a really great example of that. Isn't Pannon on your phone still like Link Pannon or something like that?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
That's wild.
I will neither confirm nor deny it might be both cases. It might be one case. I don't know. Well, I guess we're just going to have to get to the end of the campaign.
I think Stacy's still on mine as Kadaj. Throwback to Advent Children, but yeah. Anyway, Cosplay Chronicles.
Cosplay Chronicles. Yes, go check that out. That's our Patreon. That's us just trying to make sure that we keep the lights on.
Yeah.
That's my spiel. Somebody else take the microphone away from me.
Yeah.
Okay, Pannon, take it. Pannon.
So I was watching Gundam. So V-Fire.
Hi.
We've been wanting to do this episode for a while.
Oh,
This was.
yeah.
Do you have who this was sent in by?
So this recommendation came from Matthew, and I apologize. This is from like May of last year. But I really, really am glad that you sent this in.
It's not quite a year old.
Not
Maybe
quite.
when it airs, it will be.
Shh. So Matthew sends in, I'm a new cosplayer, and I just keep changing my mind on who I want to cosplay as. I keep changing my mind because I either watch or play something new, or my interest in that character leave me. I just want to ask you, how do you keep your interest, motivation, to keep going with a character? How do you keep it? How do you keep it up? And I totally relate with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I get like hyper fixated on something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make everything dealing with Lucifer in the New Has-Been Hotel. And then it dies.
Yeah.
Like that. I had like a whole thing with that, and now it's kind of died off. So I think the first one is that like the ones that stick with me naturally, those ones definitely get made.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that I want to like try to like keep my motivation going, even though like new and shinier things like come along, it usually helps to have someone like keeping me on track.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, my first thought with this one, back when you brought it up, was for me, it depends on where I find community. So it's a lot easier for me to stay hyper focused on a show or a series or like a character, even if I find a community of people who are also really excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's like an online community, a cosplay group that is like, hey, let's do these for a convention, or like, let's write fanfic together about this, let's do like online RP about this, let's, draw fan art together of this, or let's just show each other the cool fan arts we drew about this. That's one of the things that keeps me inspired or like keeps me excited about something, is where I find community.
I love that community aspect, and I'm going to add a twist to it.
Yeah.
You got to have like an accountability for it, right?
Yes.
You got to have that friend who's going to like check in and say like, all right, this is your goal. When is this due by? Let's set a smart goal. I'm not crazy about the smart goal planning, but I do think that there are tools in that can be really helpful.
Sure.
But like you say, okay, I want this done by the 1st of July. And you tell that to your buddy who's going to hold you accountable. Obviously, they're not going to like punish you. They're not going to like, well, we're not going to ice cream then, or whatever. But like having that friend who's just like you're accountable to will make it more motivating. So that way you're like, okay, I don't want to let my friend down. I promised them that I'd get this done by this time. So like setting a end date for I want to get this done by now is a great way to help yourself, but also putting that kind of like pressure on yourself to a sense, because like there is such a good thing as good pressure, that you are able to like go, okay, my buddy is counting on me to get this done, so I got to get it done, and that might help motivate you to that finish line.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, if I don't have a deadline or a goal I'm trying to meet by a certain deadline, it's all deadlines, then a lot of times it just doesn't get done. Yeah. And whether that deadline is, this con is coming up and I need it done by the con, or it can be like, hey, we want to do a gathering and do like a photo shoot together, and that's when we need these to be done by. Or even just like, we want to go to the mall together in our costumes and ride around on the little like motorized, I don't know, teddy bears that you can ride around on.
Yeah.
And make a TikTok about it. Like whatever your deadline is. Yeah, that's an awesome way to like keep yourself motivated and keep yourself responsible, accountable maybe.
Yeah. And if you're like having trouble with like trying to come up with what that deadline can be, you can try and do it as like, like this convention's coming up and so voice actor is going to be there, or this game dev is going to be there. And the character that you're, currently obsessing over is from that series. That can be a good motivator of like, if I get this done, I can wear it. And it kind of serves double purposes than just wearing it,
Mm-hmm.
Counter question. How do you pick the hype back up if you miss a deadline? So if you didn't get it done in time for the con, if you didn't get it done in time for a shoot or to meet your favorite voice actor, like, what gets you motivated to pick it back up, or do you?
For me, it's one of those things of like, I can definitely get down in the dumps if I miss that deadline, because like I feel a great amount of like disappointment and kind of shame towards myself because I let myself down. I wanted to get this thing done in a certain amount of time, and it can be really hard. I'm not gonna lie, when that kind of happened with the last voice of this season, it was really hard for me to get like into the editing and getting all of that sorted.
Sure.
And when you miss that deadline, it's very easy to allow that spiral to happen. But I think, Pannon, you've talked about this in the past of just do 15 minutes. Or, do 15 minutes or until you get to this point. So like for editing, for me, it's like edit for the next 15 minutes or until you get to the 20-minute mark. And then like these small like incremental goals, then you kind of feel motivated and excited that you are like, oh, I got there way faster than I thought I would. I might as well just go to the 15 minutes. And then before you know it, you're doing it for an hour and then you're doing it back again. So it's like, you got to make small little victories, and maybe you're able to, I had words, but I don't have words anymore. Maybe you're able to like focus on a piece of the cosplay that you're really excited about. Like I love big props. I cannot lie. So like maybe I should save that for what the times that I'm in the dumps. Maybe that's how I get it started again, get back into it. The piece that I'm really, really excited about, not the piece that I'm dreading, but the thing that I'm just like, I cannot wait until I get a giant freaking sword in my hands and I can just feel like guts all over again.
That part's great. That part is pretty amazing. Nice. What about you, V-Fire?
I have definitely had some where they just kind of got lost after missing the deadline. I'll tell you that. But others that I have been able to pick up again is when I give myself time to be like, okay, I tried to crunch for this deadline. It didn't work out. So I give myself time to like heal, I guess.
Sure.
Recuperate and whatnot. And that 15-minute thing is actually a really good one. But there's always another chance for something different, you can take it somewhere else. You can try it a different way. There's always a chance for that. And so just setting like a new goal with it. I like, David's like picking, that part that you were really excited to build from it and starting with that. That's excellent. Just to kind of like get your motivation up and going again. And usually like the closer I am to finishing it, the more likely I'll actually pick it up again.
Sure.
Whereas like, I tried making Fierce Deity Link years and years ago. Yeah, you laugh because you've made that thing.
One I would love to do a redemption cosplay for because I was not proud of it, but
oh well, I thought you looked dope.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I never went back to that one because like I'm still in the very like early stages of it, so it didn't feel like I was like I had to finish it. But also like don't feel bad if you're like almost done and you don't finish it. Like it's okay to like don't let that lost cause fallacy thing keep you from doing something that you're interested in. You still learn something from building this even though it's not completed. You still did the work even though it's not completed. You still practice those skills and built them up again, and you can keep going forward with a new one if that's what you so feel. Or, you can look for that next goal of, okay, I missed it this time, but this next time I could do this and it'll still be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can I offer like really terrible advice? Like, you should not do this, but like this would be motivating for someone, I'm sure.
Right?
Have like that deadline, right? But it's something that you've paid for. So let's say that you have, I don't know, a photo shoot planned and you've already put the deposit for the photographer's time, and that's up in a week and a half. If that's not motivating, I don't know what would. That's your time. That's your money. That's going to be really hard to get out of at the end of the day. Terrible advice. Do not do this thing. But
counterpoint, if I didn't get it done, I have done this before.
Oh no, man!
And if I didn't get it done, I brought a different outfit and I still got to have fun at the shoot.
Okay.
So,
well, that's good.
yeah. But I was gonna say, like, I do think it's fine to let go of things that are no longer sparking joy, but I think it's wise to like wait on them a little while before you just like go, I didn't make this deadline, I'm gonna throw everything out, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Give it a little time, let your heart recover, and look at it again. Maybe you don't want to do that exact version of the character. Maybe you want to do one of the like upgraded, cooler versions where you can use what you started as a base and work towards something you'd be more excited about. I think that's especially true with, I don't know, the first thing that popped into my head was Clamp, because they always have like the anime version and then the manga version is insanely more detailed. But you know, they all have stuff like that where you have like or you could even just create your own more detailed, more like whatever style. Maybe you want to alter it to be something like unique or from a certain time period, or like a punk version, or, you know, there are ways you can use that work you've already put in and make it so you can still enjoy what you've created. So don't just throw it away is all I'm saying. No,
that's totally fair and valid, and just like, you know, I definitely get that, like, throw it in the trash. But no, like, you spent time to that. It's important to kind of like celebrate that, like, yeah, but I made this so far in this little time, and that's always exciting.
Sure. I agree.
We also have another episode that we did dedicate to this, and it is episode 34 with Mama Samu.
Wow.
Mama
in the
Samu
day.
and crafting motivation. That was back from February of 2019. We have been doing this for so many years, you guys.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Wow, how do you guys stay motivated? keep
making a podcast
on the same project
since 2018. Wow. Yeah. So like this is something that I think everyone struggles with, and I think that's also another thing to kind of like help your mentality, is that you are not alone. Truly, no one is alone. You can't be the only person suffering like this kind of thing. And that's why community, like Panem was saying, is really, really great. We have a whole channel just dedicated to hype you up because you're in the rut. And it's kind of nice to get validation from strangers because they don't know you, but they see it. They see like all the work you're doing, and they could just go like, yeah, this looks great. And you're just kind of like, oh, they're right. I am great. I might as well be a cosplaying god.
Oh. See, for me, it's like the validation can be a trap, because sometimes I'm just like, I won't post anything about it because I know as soon as I get the validation, I will stop working on it because that's what I wanted.
So it's important to know yourself. That's what I'm hearing.
But yeah, it varies, but like I love that we have a hype channel, because sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you just need a bunch of people saying, hey, this is awesome, and who genuinely mean it and genuinely want you to succeed, you know?
We could also do like again, this is totally like a terrible advice. We could make a negative channel of just you know, how spite is a huge motivator. Just like somebody like, I don't know if you could get it done in that time. I'm gonna show you. I'll make it in half the time, twice as good with blackjack.
Ooh, we need like an I dare you channel.
Yeah.
There you go. So post something and be like, I don't think this is at my level, or I don't think I can finish this in 2 weeks. And someone will be like, you know what? I dare you. I dare you to finish it in 2 weeks. And the prop.
And the prop. And the wig styling. Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang though.
It's just nice to be back with my friends. Like, both of you are here. It's so good.
So what do you need us to push you about, David?
Oh, hey. We're talking about our audience, not us.
No, it's true though. Like I really like being able to do like the episodes on motivation. Like even though like our first time we talked about it was quite a while ago, it's something that comes up frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And people like request frequently. And I don't think there's any one right answer, right? Like
Yeah.
we can give you the suggestions we did back in the day. We can give you the ones we've like learned from and revised, but in the end, like everyone's motivating factors are going to be different.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to get too personal, but like that's one of the things I struggle with like therapy. I'm like, why am I not feeling motivated to do the things I love? And remembering it is like especially when you've been like burnt out really badly, it's something that can be just a like day at a time process. It's okay if you don't make progress every single day, and it's okay to like take a few steps backward even before you go forward again. And just remembering that like in your personal life, but also your projects, like can be the same way, where it's like, I might not make progress on this thing that I know I love for like a few weeks, but then suddenly I'll be like, you know what? That's the thing I really want to work on right now. And it comes back, and your hobby waits for you, and you will still be good at it, and you will still learn from it, and you will still like, it can still bring you joy.
This has been Therapy with Pannon.
Oh my gosh.
If you're American, please insert your insurance and credentials now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I saw on TikTok there's a guy I follow called Dr. Mike. And he'll play video games, and then he'll talk about like the therapy behind it. Like he's been doing it really great with like God of War and Horizon, of like talking about like, this is why we feel this way, and this is why someone might react that way. And he was doing like a little Q&A, and somebody asked him like, how do I keep myself motivated? And he said, and I don't 100% agree with it, but I'm just going to use his words because I do think that it could be inspiring for some. Their motivation is a flash in a pan. I am motivated to do a thing. That is not the thing to finish your project, though, especially if it's a long haul project. It's determination that allows you to finish a project. Determination is what keeps you in the seat working on the project. And sometimes you need to change your mindset that it's not, I'm not motivated. There is I am determined to get this done. These are two very different kind of chemicals in your brain going off.
Interesting.
I don't find that 100% what I aspire to in my like thinking, but I can appreciate like it is determining that I will do this thing. And that's just, it's all a part, like we've been saying, it's kind of how does your brain work and how do you trick yourself into doing it sometimes?
That's fair. For me, one of the tricks, the ways I trick myself, aside from doing the like 15-minute tasks, sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth because I'm still not over being unwell.
Fun fact on the 15-minute tasks. I do 10 minutes because 15 feels too big to me sometimes.
You know what? Sometimes I do 5 and it's totally fine. Like it's literally like I think I've said in previous episodes, like even if all you do is like thread the needle and like that's it. Get it started on your project.
Or turn
That's
off my
okay.
sewing machine after
Or
leaving it on for so long.
Yes. What I was gonna say is, so every now and then when I feel up to it, I do the NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month. They have like a book on how to write a novel in a month. I can't remember what it's called, but one of the things it suggests or like brings up is how when you have a large task like that, suddenly everything around the house seems to need doing. Or you have all these other tasks that you're like super motivated on those other tasks, but not the one that you're like, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
So sometimes I put the I'm supposed to be doing this task. I create an I'm supposed to be doing this task. And so I can feel bad about not doing it, but then I also get so much done on my other costumes that I'm like, well, I didn't do that, but I did all of this.
So many other things I got done around the house today. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Did I write those 2,500 words? No. But
the
the
dishes
sewing
are
room's
done.
never been cleaner, and
I regrouted all the tile, like.
yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes brains are funny, and it's a game of playing musical chairs with your hobbies to try to find one that you are passionate about at that moment.
Well, I feel motivated. Do you feel motivated?
I feel motivated.
I feel a little motivated. Oh, one of the other things I was going to add, just because I don't know, I try to do this, but like one of the things that makes me feel like inspired and excited to work on stuff is seeing other people who are very good at doing stuff. Like my sister and I like to go to the Performing Arts Center and go see plays sometimes. Or I like to sometimes not enter a cosplay contest and just watch it.
Is that
and then
allowed?
I'm like, I know. I'm like, oh, you know what? I am super enjoying this, but at the same time, I'm feeling like so gung-ho about these projects I want to work on them. Why am I putting them off? I could be up there, you know? And I don't know, just seeing other people performing or creating amazing things gets me excited too. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Creativity. It's that idea that surrounding yourself with creative people and successful people can help you feel and be that way as well. So a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, I think, I was at the Animation Expo here in Salt Lake. Super fun, by the way. Pricey, but it was worth it. I got to see the creators of like Iron Giant and I think one of the animators for Ren and Stimpy was there too. Is freaking awesome.
Dope.
They were really like going back to the 90s with all the cartoons and stuff. Like it was amazing. Oh, what was his name? Shoot. It's been too long now. Was it Martin? I don't know. Matt? Start with an M. I feel like it started with an M. But this guy, he worked on like Iron Giant and like older cartoons and stuff like that. And like, if you guys seen Iron Giant, I'm gonna be disappointed if you haven't.
I love Iron Giant.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You stay, I go, I cry every time.
Okay, good.
Like
good.
one of the greatest animated films of our time.
It's amazing. It's
Vin
amazing.
Diesel's never been better.
So like, you got this guy up on stage who's like worked on that. And he's talking about, he's like, you're going to go through school, you're going to learn all this stuff, you're going to get out there and into the field, and you're going to suck. And he's like, and you're going to work on these amazing movies and have all these amazing people around yourself, and you're going to suck. He's like, that feeling just never goes away.
Inspiring.
I know. But he's like, surround yourself with creative people, surround yourself with successful people, and you will find that too. Yeah, it was very cool. I just sort of sitting there being like, what? But it was very good. It's very good.
But you see, I might be an imposter, but I have tricked you all so far, so I will continue to do so.
That is the exact
And maybe someday
mindset.
I'll believe it, but
Hey, we're getting too close to my therapy. Can we back up? Dang.
I didn't have a good segue. I thought I did, and then it went out of my head. But yeah, I hope that like helped and answered some of your like motivation and inspiration questions, and like gets y'all at home interested and excited. Yeah. But speaking of fun things that are interesting and exciting, David.
Yes.
We have a new segment.
So you may have seen online in the Facebook or the Discord that I created a little announcement. I called it like, hey, make us guess. I've been wanting to play this literally 4 weeks, but it really requires all three of us here, at least three of us. So if we ever guessed, we could definitely do this. I am calling this Stitches in Time. I love the echo effect, apparently.
Yeah.
Where you, our dear audience, send us in a cosplay that you worked on that you're proud of or you want to show off. We will put it in the show notes of the episode. And what I will do is we will have a point system. I will share that picture with our fantastic, much experienced cosplayers. And they have 3 chances to guess how long this cosplay took. First is just off of the picture alone, so you'll get 3 points if you get it just off of that. 2 points for guessing after I give you some details that this cosplayer has given us, and 1 point once I have broken down what they may have been watching or a comparison to a show. So, for instance, if you wanted to watch Big Bang Theory, that's 5 days, 19 hours, and 30 minutes. And so I would say something along the lines of this cosplay, they could have watched Big Bang Theory twice or something along those lines. To help give you kind of the concept of how much time this cosplay took. Are we clear on the game?
I'm going to try my best.
Okay. It's a work in progress, so like I'm open to feedback at any point in time. Okay, so this first one comes from Lunar Lepus Cosplay, and I will post their main picture So this is their cosplay, and again, if you want to play it at home, the picture will be in the show notes. This is the Five Nights at Freddy's security breach meets Baroque style.
I love this. I love everything about this.
Oh my gosh.
The photo alone is really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
They have some extra details that I will share as well, because I do feel like these are amazing. Like there's a headpiece here that clearly has gotten a lot of, I have the hiccups, a lot of love and attention to, a lot of extra detailing here and there. So, after you have seen all 3 of these photos, how long do you think this cosplay took them? And just shout out however long.
Oh my gosh. I had a different guess, and then I saw the headpiece up close. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh. And I'm seeing, like, it's hard to tell from the picture, but it looks like there's a lot of hand beading, like beaded strands all around like the sleeves and like just throughout the piece.
Okay, my guess.
All right.
4 months.
Okay, 4 months.
Okay. I'm gonna say 6 weeks, but an intense 6 weeks.
Intense 6 weeks. Okay. So both of you are rather close, and this is kind of the part that we're workshopping in the moment.
Okay.
Do we want to go Price is Right rules, or do we want to get down to the nitty gritty?
Ooh, like actual hours worked on it, maybe.
For this one, I will say they did not give me an exact amount of hours.
Okay,
As
okay.
is most cosplays, they're going to be like, I think
Okay.
20-ish hours.
Okay.
Roughly.
But yeah, you guys are both close. Do we want to do
without going over?
Yeah, do we want to do Price is Right rules? Do we want to just like because you guys are guessing really good. You guys don't have to guess on this one either. You could wait for more information.
Give me a little more information.
Okay. V-Fire, do you want to lock in at 4 months?
Yes.
Okay. V-Fire's locking it at 4 months. So on the questionnaire, I asked some things like, what are the techniques you used when making this cosplay? They wrote pattern modification, lots of hand beading, foam work, air dry foam work, paper doilies, airbrushing, and plastic modeling. They did compete with this cosplay. And another fun fact is the base of the wrist cuffs are slap bracelets, and the details on the headpiece are the mask. On the mask are done with paper doilies.
Oh, nice. Okay. See, I was wondering on the headpiece because there's like these slightly raised details in red that I was like, maybe that's the doilies, but I can't tell if that's the doilies or maybe puff paint. Either way, it's like really, really clean. Oh man.
I love the slap bracelet.
I
do love the slap
really,
bracelet.
really great.
I'm gonna lock in at my like intense 6 weeks.
Intense 6 weeks. Okay, so we got both locked in. They wrote that it took them approximately 3 months.
Oh,
so you guys were so close on either side of this.
Oh, that's I believe that took 3 months. That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I didn't look at the pants as closely as I should have because there's like all this hand painted detail. All of the snaps and stuff are like hand sewn in, and there's like a lot of piecework with getting like these stripes through the pants, and it's just such a cool look.
Pretty.
It is gorgeous. They did write, because in one of the questions I asked, like, were you able to watch a show or get through a series while working on the cosplay? And they wrote, I listened to y'all's podcast as well as watching Sarah Spaceman's videos, which I love Sarah Spaceman's videos. I would love to have her on the show.
She's awesome.
Maybe we should reach out and see if we can organize something, because that'd be great. Okay, so Price is Right rules, or do we want to, actual closest?
Ooh. Let's do actual closest, because it's so easy to go over. So I think Mercedes got it.
Yep, I'm going to agree. Mercedes, you are locked in with 3 whole points. Congratulations!
Yay! Nice.
3 points.
Okay, the next one comes to us from Thebeholdersartandcosplay. I believe I'm reading that right.
Ooh.
It's all one word.
They were at Isekai.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So this cosplay is a fantastic, I believe this is just like gorgeous blue shade outfit going on.
Hannon, we judged this.
Oh no.
This means we're on equal footing.
Oh no. This one comes from Our Flag Means Death, Steed Bonnet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I love this so much.
So we got to see this up close because we both judged at Isekai Con. And this was actually the Best Master Craftsman winner.
Holy crap.
They used I believe it was Hungarian embroidery. Is that right?
Yes.
Like they had a very specialized embroidery technique that they learned from a relative. That is like beautifully done throughout. The fabrics they picked are like perfect. Like
The pattern they used is even more accurate than the show itself, to be historically accurate. Like, freaking love it.
Like, I was pretty floored by how, like, incredibly well done this was. I can't remember how long it took, but I know it was a lot because of all the hand sewn details, because that's, like, period accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how long they said they worked on it. Oh, David, give us more info. Maybe it'll jog our memory.
Are you both going to move on to the 2-point section then?
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
I want that 3 points.
I want to say, I'm going to say 10 months.
You're going to say 10 months. Okay.
Yes.
10 months. You lock it in with 10?
I think so. Like, I'm almost sure they said it was a year, but I think I'm going to say 10 months.
Okay.
Gosh dang it. Oh my gosh. I feel like they were, like, superhuman in the timing that they said for it. I don't remember.
Do you want more information? I'm happy to give you more information.
Well, yes. 3 points.
You are in the lead.
I am. I gotta stay in the lead. Okay. I'm gonna go nuts here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say this was an intense 1 month build.
1 month build. Okay. All right, you're locking in. So both of you are locking in for 3 points.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So I'll give some more information for our audience.
Mm-hmm.
The techniques that were used were hand embroidery, flat felled seams, hand sewing, pattern drafting, flat lining, and crochet lace making.
Oh, gosh, that's right.
This one does seem like the yes is obviously checked. Did they compete with it? Yes. And other fun facts, it was patterned off of a historical extent garment. I didn't like how they patterned the clothing in the show. The costumes looked great. There just wasn't the level of historical accuracy. Getting snobby. I love it. And I wanted to have in my cosplay, so I decided to take some creative liberties while I made this cosplay. I made the embroidery pattern and transferred it all on by hand. It was my third competition build. I love how the embroidery turned out. I was really worried that it was going to look really bad and uneven, but when I ironed out, all of my problems were fixed. Funny thing, the heels that I wore for the contest were more comfortable than the flats I wore for the con before prejudging. I love how all of the welt pockets turned out. It was a little scary to do them because if I had made a mistake, there wasn't any going back. It was my time making that kind of pocket. The prop in my photo was made by my friend, Princess Pio Cosplay, P-I-Y-O, Pio Cosplay. We thought it would be fun to switch props for a second. Okay, so, well, the comparison that I was going to make is they could have watched half of One Piece and would have been done with a cosplay because they said it took them 200 hours to do. So for comparison, 10
How many hours are in a month?
10 months is 7,300 hours.
Okay. 1 month has 700 hours, so I was closer.
730 hours. That is correct.
You can't sew 24/7. You don't watch One Piece 24/7 till it's done.
An intense 1 month, and they never slept.
I mean, there's room for sleeping in there. You said 100 hours, right?
200 hours.
See, if you watch 2 episodes of One Piece a day for almost a year, that would be pretty close to 10 months, is what I'm saying. Like an hour a day? Yeah.
An hour a day. You're absolutely right. It could have taken them. That 200 hours could have been spread out in 10 months. Both of you overshot, and I think that means none of you got a point for this one. All right, we will do one more.
Okay.
We have plenty more submissions to go through. So this, if you guys want an entire episode dedicated to this, we will happily do that. And I will leave a link for where you can submit your cosplay in the show notes. So please make sure if you want to be a part of the show, you want your cosplay to be guest, make sure that you are sending it over there. Okay. On to the final one for this episode. This one comes to us from Carpinchy? God, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They, them pronouns, and they are doing a Meryl Strife from Trigun Stampede.
Oh, I love it.
See, I'm looking at these on my laptop, but I'm going to go on my phone just so I can zoom in, because I feel like I'm missing details here. Oh.
That hat is super cute. I love that hat so much.
It's
like,
very
that's my favorite part. And the mask that matches with the hat.
The buttons. I like the covered, like the fabric covered looking buttons.
Mm-hmm.
They look like that. I'm not sure for sure, but I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
How'd they do the patch? Cool.
It's hard to tell from the picture. I can't tell if it's like a vinyl iron-on or if it's like an actual patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really cool, though. Those gloves.
This is the only picture that I got, so I unfortunately cannot provide more.
I'm gonna say 24. See, and I'm actually counting all the hours, but 24 hours. Maybe spread over like a week and a half.
24 hours. Okay.
We're doing hours? Like hours now?
That is what I did ask originally, is roughly how many hours did this cosplay take from start to finish?
Yeah.
I want to say...
You can wait and get more details.
Yeah, you can wait. Right. You are still in the lead. So
I'll
you
get more details.
You're going to go for details?
I was to say, I'm not going to lock in yet.
Okay.
I'm going to hear more so I can maybe get some points this round.
Okay. So, they write, some of the techniques that were used, primarily construction sewing, used modified commercial patterns. The hat pattern was self-drafted, mostly machine sewn, but the gloves have a lot of hand sewing in them. The gloves are nearly entirely hand sewn except for the side seam on the outside of the hand and the top stitching. I also had to remake them twice due to the mistakes with patterning. And they have like the melty smiley face. The ties on the front of the shirt are bias taped wrapped piping cord that were hand tied and hand sewn onto the shirt. I did not make the belt, shoes, or tights. And they did compete with this cosplay. And some other fun facts: the earrings are cut up gift cards that I spray painted.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice. Okay. Oh, dang. I think I'm going to still stick with 24. Like, I was a little worried with the hand stitching. Like, that might completely throw it off and go way up. But I think about 24. Total.
About 24. B-Fire, any thoughts?
30
hours. All right.
That was almost what I said, so I'm excited to see.
That might as well be, what was the last bet? $8? $9.
No, I'm gonna lock in my 24.
You're locking in at 24. V-Fire, are you locking in at 30, or do you want a
I think this cosplayer is speedy.
I'm gonna go 30.
You're locking in at 30?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, from what they told me, they would be able to watch all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and a little bit extra. Because that would take them 3 days, 7 hours, and 35 minutes, aka close to 88 hours.
Oh, dang.
Oh, they really got in on that.
September 1st and finished on the 30th. Based on the progress picture I took, it looks like it worked on it a total of 20 days.
Wow.
So very, very impressive turnaround time on that.
Yeah.
Dang. The Merrills I've seen have all been like deceptively simple, where I look at it and I'm like, that probably only took this long, and then I'm like, no, there's so much work that went into it.
Like, the gloves look like a faux leather, which means that, like, in my mind, that's harder material to work with in general.
It's a pain to hand sew, that's what it is. But yeah, I thought the gloves were bought when I first looked at it, so when you said they were hand sewn, I was like, oh dang, that's very good.
The fact that like only like 3 pieces were purchased, or at least like not made in this specific cosplay, is really, really impressive. So with the closest bet being 30 hours to the 88, V-Fire, you got another 2 points, meaning V-Fire is at 5, Panon is at 0, and our winner for today is V-Fire!
Big old a goose egg. Good job. Good job. Good job.
I now can lord over you like proud pugs do.
I think the important thing to take home is that it's so hard to tell just from looking at something how long it took.
Definitely. Yeah. And really, this game is just to highlight how awesome our fans are and the great work that they do. And poke fun at ourselves a little bit, because like you said, like there's so many different like tips and tricks and things that have sped things up or extended your time, anything along those lines.
Heck yeah. So we looked at some amazing builds, but do we have any
horror stories? Spooky.
That we do. Of course we have some good horror stories. Of course we do.
Yeah.
And this one comes from X-Angel, one of my personal favorite people on the face of this planet. X-Angel, it's you. We love you.
It's you.
It's you. This one says, the cleaning tips episode reminded me of a horror story I suffered as a costume dresser for a production of Stephen Sondheim's Company, one of my favorite Sondheim pieces. So cosplay, that's a David side note, that's not an X-Angel side note. Company is one of my personal favorites. So cosplay adjacent. Being the only dresser in a show meant that any costume mishap during the run fell on me to fix. Ideally, before an actor needed to be on stage. Lose a button, I sew it on. Rip your pants, I make sure you can go back on stage, even if your sweat embedded in the fabric is gross. But the thing that stands out the worst is we had a, quote, be careful what you eat / in costume, end quote, rule. Oh. Costumes could only be washed once a week and were otherwise spot cleaned. One actor, probably Bobby, decided to kiss another actor's behind and managed to put a beautiful, deep red lipstick on the white strip of a dry clean only dress.
No.
At this point, I didn't know how to clean lipstick off of a costume. So I spent the rest of the first act researching how to get rid of lipstick, and the intermission spot cleaning by hand washing the lipstick out. All so the actor could go back on stage for the opening number of Act 2. The actor who did the kissing made it on my gray list, and I have added the action as a cautionary tale when I talk about theater costume etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I still think it was Bobby. I don't know who the character was, but I think this is Bobby energy to me.
You know what? That's fair. That would have me seeing red. So
definitely, I can't even see the color red. That's where I would feel about it. Hey.
Well, if our listeners at home have anything that has them seeing red or any color equivalent, if you don't see red, you can send those to us at cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com or
go to the website and fill out our contact form at cosplaystitchandseam.com, or
go to the Facebook page. Tell us what you're working on. Join our fantastic community of cosplayers that want to see you grow, change, challenge yourself, be motivated, be determined, whatever word you want to use to get to that finish line. We would love to see it. We want to see all of your great progress pictures. If you're not a big fan of Facebook, I totally get it. I hate Facebook. We have a Discord. You can find the link on our website to our fantastic community, or you can always ask us on our social media. We're really good about that. While you're on the internet, if you want to support the show, share the podcast with a friend, leave a rating and review. And of course, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplay stitch. Some of the amazing people that we need to thank are Misty Lee, Jack S., Cynthia Eve Cosplay, Star Fetcher, Troft Cos, Lydia, Yggdrasil, Dr. Steggy, Cynics, Hot Riku, Jazzy Kofed, Jaguar Quinn, Gloria Shu, and Silver Deeds.
Very good. Thanks, as always, to Macy Roberts for the use of her music as our theme song, and to David Jeffress for Faye's amazing editing. How are your podcasts going, David?
So great, Pannon. Thank you so much for asking. The Last Voice Season 3. We are at the halfway mark at the time of this recording. So now is a really great time to get caught up. You can be excited about the finale and everything. I'm super pleased with it. It was probably one of the hardest things that I've done in a very long time. So I would really appreciate it if you went and checked it out, or just shared that one with a friend also. That would be very, very helpful. And of course, Comic Trades Monthly. It is where me and my best friend talk about comic books in a book club format. This next month, we are going to be talking about the Once and Future King, or the Once King, something along those lines. I don't remember. Go check out the feed. It's all Arthurian, and for some odd reason, that seems to be a very kind of big theme in my life lately. So go check that out. Also, real quick, this will be episode 192, and no. 190, 191, 192, somewhere around there. Our 200th episode is coming up. Get ready for it. They we'll make sure we'll make some announcement probably around the 195 mark. Once we get a little bit more hammered down on what we are going to be doing for that.
What? Can we get hammered down?
We're hammered up. I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm more of a bent nail kind of guy in the.
I was thinking shots or hot wings. Or...
I mean, yeah, we could bring alcohol into this. I am totally down for that.
Yeah,
we did that for our 100th episode. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. That is awesome. I'm excited. I have a really bad pun for this week.
Hell yeah, can't wait.
Because I wanted it to be on brand with like having like all this hard work and everything. So, what do you call a hardworking pickle?
What do you call a hardworking pickle?
They're diligent.
Oh my word.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Don't work too hard. Hi, guys. Welcome to Cosplay Station Team. Sorry. Hi, guys.
Shoot.
Sorry, David.
Sorry, David.
I should really get some like Jeopardy style music. Obviously not Jeopardy because I don't want us to get sued. But I really should get like a. So in Gundam, I think it's really, really interesting. There's a great podcast that's Mobile Suit Breakdown, I think is what it's called. They are a great companion piece if you are like watching along, and they'll do like an episode, like a 1-to-1. And Mobile Suit Breakdown. And they start with in chronological release date. So they start with Mobile Suit Gundam, and then they talk about like what's the trends of adults in this time frame. Because the Universal Century time frame, if it's like Universal Century 79, that's actually just 1979 is when it was made. So they do a great job of not only breaking down like, hey, this is the culture of the time, but also like these are the things that like Japanese people would be experiencing. and they kind of like translate some of the strange things that like we don't have a word for, like an indirect kiss. Like in Japanese culture, if you like share a drink with somebody of, you know, like you might be crushing on, then it's like an indirect kiss, and that's kind of risque and like a childhood playfulness to it, right? So they do a great
I know about that one. I read fanfic.
I imagined you did, Cannon. I'm explaining to our audience. Yeah,
no, that sounds awesome.
Absolutely fantastic. I listen to them without watching along because they do such a great job of breaking down the episode, breaking down character themes. I would love to just talk to them for like an hour and a half.
Nice.
But yeah, they've been doing this. They'll just do like a season for a series. And again, they're doing it all chronologically, so they won't be getting to the origin for quite some time. That's my vamping to kill time. Beefire, did you find who sent the suggestion in?
I think I did.
Yay!
This is so all right. So our
you have so many bloopers this episode, Dave.
I know.
Sorry, David.